Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, here on Dork Tales. I'm your storyteller, Kelly. I use he and him, and I can't tell you how good it is to be back after an extended hiatus. We are finally back here in the Victorian era, about to do some traveling down to Egypt. If this is your first time joining us, then welcome to Book 3 of Mage the Ascension. The other two books are on YouTube. You should go watch them immediately. You can also listen to them on podcast, at least Book 1. Book 2 will be coming to podcast very soon. So great to be back, everybody. Before we begin, I just want to say a big thank you to our sponsor, Bookworm Games. Bookworm Games is responsible for keeping the lights on in here. They are huge supporters of the World of Darkness, and we would not be here without them. In fact, we would not be here rolling dice without them, for sure, because they have provided me with this fantastic gemstone D10 set made of actual amethyst that I am rolling against my players tonight, or in service to the story, I should say. If you want dice like this, go to bookwormgames.com, use code DorkTales to save 15%, and you can get some amazing dice inspired by the World of Darkness, including inspired by Vampire, Wraith, Werewolf, Mage, or even the Technocracy, if you're feeling particularly salty. Besides that, they have a ton of other stuff and are going to be having actual Dungeons and Dragons. I know you're watching this, you're probably not a huge D&D fan, but in case you are, they're going to be having actual modules that they're releasing soon, which I'm writing several of. So if you like me, consider getting them when they come out. But trust me, I won't shut up about that when the time comes, so you got a little bit of time. So before we begin, we should find out who's playing tonight. Let's go around in a big circle, now that we've thanked our sponsor, and start with Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I play Dr. Evelyn Taylor, our Society of Ether member. I almost said Etherite, but that's not quite right yet.
Fantastic. It's good to have you back. Over in the corner, we've got Amy.
Oh, that's me. Hi, my name's Amy. My pronouns are she, her, or they, them, and I am playing Chastity, Prudence, Goodwin, the Celestial Chorister / Cult of Ecstasy member. And I just, at some point, I'm going to have to say Celestial Chorister, come ecstatic, because, yeah.
If you time it right.
Yeah.
That's what the time magic's for.
Oh my
also
God.
A she, her.
It really is.
What?
Just thinking about all the uses for time magic in you know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
not only correspondence could help you come or go. But, all right, down beneath you, we have Jen, who has a mouthful for us, from what I understand.
Oh, what a mouthful. Yeah, hi, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I play, and because it's book 3 and it's the start of book 3, and now it's tradition, I have to say her full name. Josephine Azure Benedict Evans Hazel Carrington Bani Tharsis, daughter of Concordia, mistress of the Arcturus, the Cleansing Flame, in Calignia Abditus, Kudairu Zeremot Eseod Bo. Our Order of Hermes member, Bani Tharsis, as stated.
Fantastic. Welcome back. And hiding behind that veil, which is fighting with the blue screen a little, but not a huge amount. It is, is that Darcie? It's Robin.
It's Robin! Yes, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and I get to reprise. Wow, everything seems really light when I take this veil off. I get to reprise Darcie Harkness, our Irish member of the Verbena, with her familiar companion, Bran, the one-eyed black cat. And yeah, she has some paradox to cover, so she's in mourning.
It's true.
So yeah, this was fighting with the green screen and blue screen, which is why we were a bit late starting, because gotta commit to the bit.
Yep. So when you take it off, I'll readjust the blue screen on you. And then the chat is saying I should have a hat. I want to say I did buy a hat, but I don't think it really works with the outfit. So I will quickly show you what I'm talking about, because I did buy a damn hat.
Oh.
So
I went looking for the hat that actually...
I don't think it works with the outfit. I don't think it works with the outfit or the haircut, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's
See
just
what I mean?
not quite 100%. Like, it's close, but there's something missing.
Yeah, so maybe if
There's
I get like a
something
flat
missing
top,
for
like bowlers just aren't for me.
I feel like potentially a smaller
flat
one.
top at my place Kelly, when you can bring that back.
Oh, did I?
There's a flat
did
top.
I?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've
I
got
have a
this.
flat top from you, so
That's better.
yeah, that's better.
I don't know if it really works though.
You're a little bit of a page
It works
boy
better,
kind
for
of.
sure.
Well, because
Yeah.
what you were trying to say was like you were going to be playing more of like people around us in the space, and unless you're playing like the help or the page boy, it doesn't feel quite right.
Right. Would you like a paper, miss? Also, I'm from the 20s.
I was looking for like hats to wear or whatever, because I was trying to figure out the hair right now, and I kind of went with this, but I might change it for next time. Who knows? But I have a hat that I bought specifically like many years ago now that could have been a like a Carmen Sandiego cosplay. Or Halloween costume, that sort of hat. I was like, I wonder where that is, and I have no idea. It's probably in my storage locker, but
Probably in your storage locker. Alternatively, this
Yeah.
game does have some elements of time travel, so I could always just wear this. So I got to get back in time.
I don't know.
For those
All
listening
right,
on
all right,
podcast
Marty.
later, it's Marty McFly's hat from Back to the Future 2 that I bought on Wish.com like 8 years ago. Before we begin, does anybody have any questions, any XP expenditures that I need to be made aware of, or anything like that before we start?
Well, as we spoke before the game started, I did buy Prime and some skills.
Perfect. I'm here for
Mainly
it.
athletics, melee, firearms, ride. I think that's it.
Perfect. All right. Anybody else have anything I need to be aware of? I know Darcie bought a Dot of a Sphere.
Yep, and Thropy.
Okay.
Josephine also recently bought Entropy, but it was a little while ago. But I think it's funny that maybe Josephine and Darcie were learning from Evelyn.
Yeah.
God.
Teach us Entropy.
Teach us
Entropy.
Entropy.
She attempted explaining it, but thoroughly from her mindset, of which probably confused the hell out of you.
Yes.
Quite
That's
possibly.
fair.
But I might have to make some adjustments and audit my sheet, because I think I spent some points wrong in some places, so I have to just go through it all anyway. But
Fair. Well, that's not a problem at all. That can always happen. Amy, did you buy anything during the extensive downtime?
It was at the end of book 2 that I have a note for buying my 4th dot in time, but that's the only thing.
Okay. So it has been a few months, so I'll say that you can have that. Which is dangerous for me.
right, it's one of those things. Like I do it in Zero Sum. I'm like, here, have these things. Oh, I'm in trouble.
I'm in trouble. I'm in danger. Oh no. All right.
no.
So folks, enough dilly-dallying. It is time for us to head into Mage the Victorian Age. I have way too many things that I want to do with you tonight, and I shouldn't dally anymore. Before we begin, one last thank you to our sponsor, Bookworm Games. Thank you to everybody who's on our Patreon. If you're not on the Patreon, get on the Patreon. Then you can watch Zero Sum way earlier, like 6 months earlier, because I'm behind in posting the episodes to YouTube. And of course, be sure to come back in 3 weeks' time, because we are doing Extra Life. In April this year instead of in August, so you can watch us run a ton of games to benefit the Children's Miracle Network. I'll tell you more about that later. The last thing is that we're also teaming up this year with onyxpath for onyxpathcon, and as far as I understand, I will be running a technocracy game for that, so you definitely want to come and experience that. All right. Any last questions before we begin? All right, then let's do it. Book 3. The apartment over curios and curiouser, specialties, books, and collectibles had grown unbearably humid over the past few hours. The body heat of 2 adult humans, 1 adult, very sarcastic cat, in the small space of the living room had steamed the windows and spread the unsavory tang of sweat and study throughout the air. As Penny Dreadful, plump and pretty as she ever was, though she was now comfortably in her early 50s, rose from her chair and smoothed her black skirt free of wrinkles, which, if nothing else, the humidity helped with. She circumnavigated the sofa and coffee table, careful not to bump the half-dozen empty porcelain mugs of tea or the antique teapot that sometimes rattled or perhaps moaned from the ministrations of its previous owner and current occupant, if we're being honest. And she walked over to the window. With a grunt of effort, she pushed the old, warped casement windows open. As they splayed outwards like arms eager for an embrace, a rush of cold, dewy air from the San Francisco Bay flooded in. The lit candles in the room danced and cast violent shadows on the walls. The old radio became a hulking brute, her cat a hungry tiger ready to spring. All of the shadows, that is, save for those belonging to Mr. Charlie Parker, Penny noted. In fact, as Penny quietly observed him from the corner of her eye, she noticed for the first time that the man seemed to have no shadow at all. Perhaps there is something to you after all, Mr. Parker, Penny thought to herself and returned to her seat. The younger man sat on the sofa beside Penny's chair, a place of honor he had occupied for the past 3 hours. As she slid back into her own, Penny looked at the old leather tome in his hands. On its rich black cover was stamped a steam locomotive, and the gold beneath the title read, Death on the Empress Express. Its pages were stained dark with the brown of dried blood. She read the title aloud. A bit on the nose, wouldn't you say? Charlie looked up at her, his hair mussed, eyes ringed with dark circles. The stories had drawn him in even more than her. He would need sleep soon, or at the very least a bit of rejuvenation magic. It's strange, he began. There's blood on the journal, but it's not like it would have been spilled when it was being written, right? These were all written years or decades after the fact, it seems. So why? It could be any number of reasons, she said. Some even as simple as a particularly bad paper cut. The joke fell flat. Or perhaps something inside of the book worth bleeding over. Or worse, yes. Penny agreed. We should focus on the story. But unexplained bloodstains are difficult to get out of one's mind. If it even is blood, that is. Let's call an expert. Mr. M, what do you make of this? I make, the cat said, throat thick with the remnants of a nap, that it is a book. Same as the last 2 books. Mister, please. Ugh, the cat rolled its eyes. Fine, if it will quiet you up. Mr. Mistopheles roused from his perch and luxuriated in a deep, sultry stretch before deigning to make his way over to the pair. However, when the black cat got about a foot from the book, he froze and drew his head back as if struck. His nose wrinkled in disgust, and a low growl built in his throat. It was soon quashed beneath a deep, hairball-strength gag. Ugh! How dare you make me smell that rot? It's disgusting! Is it blood? The cat retched. Yes, it's obviously blood. What do you expect? What did you expect me to say? Grape juice? It's blood. Old, dirty, and dark. Well, that answers that question, Penny said. And not human. And raises others, she added. Not human? Charlie asked, a look of genuine, naive perplexion on his face that Penny found absolutely charming. Had she herself ever looked so innocent the first time someone explained ghosts or vampires or fairies to her? My boy, magic is just one side of the world hidden from sleepers, but maybe that's a discussion for later, after you've slept. I can keep going. I've done my share of night shifts. Well then, perhaps one more book before we turn in. Shall we? With a nod and a look of trepidation, Charlie Parker opened the book and began to read the elegant script within. It was almost spring by the time we had recovered enough to escape Paris. We absconded from Dr. Freeman's lab and instead spent our time recovering and preparing ourselves for the days ahead at her private apartments outside of the city. There, the clean country air did us all a bit of good, as did our time with the larger animals that Dr. Freeman kept on the property, From horses to cows, there is always something therapeutic about the pastoral life. After the destruction of the institute called the Voliere Diabolique, we decided that our primary concerns were twofold. First, we needed to get both Amelia and Teddy Jr. to safety. That proved easier than expected, as we universally agreed that the safest place for the pair was in the security of Horizon, the plane of reality created by the 9 mystic traditions. Though this choice was an easy one to make, I must admit that the accompanying choice to not simply travel with them and into its safety was a far more difficult one. This is where our second concern took priority over our own comfort and safety. Dr. Gilbert Saxon had tasked us with traveling to meet his contact in Bombay. According to the good doctor, this person would be able to store or destroy the relic of the future that had found its way into our charge before it could do further harm. However, with the whole of Europe within the grip of the Order of Reason and on the hunt for both us and the box, it was impossible to conduct such a journey through magically traceable methods, such as mystical conveyance or correspondence. And so it was that by pooling our resources, calling in favors, and accepting a generous gift of money from Dr. Freeman herself, we were able to acquire transit to Cairo by steamship, whereafter we would make our way into the heart of India via the newly completed Empress Express, an impossible train journey that stretched across the cradle of civilization and along the English Empire's reach. We hoped that the audacity of using a train that symbolized Queen Victoria's power and wealth would be enough to obfuscate us from her watchful eyes and those of her agents. And soon you will discover that in that we were successful. However, we would soon learn that the Order of Reason and the reach of Empire was only the start of our troubles. And among the ancient sands, we would encounter new allies, new enemies, and above all else, death. And so we begin our story. The inside of the apartments owned by Dr. Freeman. They are on the edge of Paris, where pastoral living begins to bump up against the ever-encroaching city. Perhaps 20, 30, 40 years before, this was all farmland, but now it has grown to bump directly against the progress of what is coming and the past. It is one of a pair of linked townhomes, but a large one. 3 stories, ample places to sleep, next to a number of fields, barns, and stables. Some of you have spent your days riding and recuperating. The fresh air and fresh living has been comfortable, and some of you may even have found that you're starting to resemble your old selves, putting on a few pounds from the relaxation. If nothing else, being locked in that institute was good for one's waistline. Perhaps too much. For a day does not go by that you do not see one of your companions, or Dr. Freeman herself, and notice a bit of angularity, a bit of bone, a bit of rib, a bit of exhaustion that is carried deep within the soul. Later today, a carriage will arrive from one of your contacts within the church, Chastity. It will take Amelia and Teddy Jr. to a safe location and then transport them to Horizon. Now is the time for goodbyes. And that is where we will begin today's story. The parlor is comfortable. Fresh tea is on the table, served by, likely by Darcie and by Dr. Freeman's hands. And the lot of you, what are you all doing?
Question.
Yes.
Did we ever, during the downtime, attempt to see if there was still any trace of that Teddy might still be alive using once the infant was born? Or now that we had the infant with a blood connection?
Do you
That was
think
something
you
that was
would have?
talked about.
You did
Yes,
talk about
absolutely.
it.
Chastity wants to know. Yes.
Yeah, we did talk about that, and Darcie with her life magic.
And Josephine with correspondence
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Okay. So that is where we will begin then. Doing this effect and waiting until the last possible moment so that you could spend positive time. Or would you have just simply collected a bit of blood from the infant to use later?
Chastity would have left that up to the mages with more. Well, I got life too, but someone who's more used to the scrying part of it and determining if knowing how that would work.
Yeah, because I know that with correspondence and a sympathetic connection, like someone's actual blood, I can just do it with correspondence. I think this being a step away, I think I do need somebody with life to connect it that way, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Darcie with like blood rituals is very much her thing. The fresher the sample, it more potent at the time. So I think like we could store a vial of the infant's blood, but for later. But I think she would definitely suggest that this is a fresh blood sample would probably have a better chance at connection.
Yeah. I think Chastity even has the spheres to potentially like suspend the blood in time.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
Or would you
With-
rather
with
just
that
use...
much
time
time.
for?
You could absolutely do that with
You-
time 4. Alternatively, you could just put
Yeah.
the baby in the middle of a magic circle and use the entire... Because I don't want to say it in this in a bad way, but the baby is a container for all of its blood.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's more
Much
whether
like
or
this is a
not
container for all my juice.
Yeah, right.
So I think if that
I mean,
Okay,
vampires
vampire.
do,
raised,
do
Evelyn's going to point out that potentially Teddy is in control or is in the control of that monster, and potentially he could turn this back on us and harm the baby.
I have
Yeah,
a
we don't-
way against that, but yeah, if we want the if we don't want the baby in
No, not
as
risking.
much harm's way, right?
Mhm.
That's the thing.
So if we can do it with just a prick and a bit of blood, then that's the way to go.
All right. I want you to describe how this ritual would take place. What does it look like? What are you bringing into this? Because this is going to be a mixture between who is casting this. Josephine, you are casting using your correspondence.
I think I'm casting the majority of it because it is a scry.
Okay. So, do you need the aid of someone else? Because
I
you
do need
have
the aid. It's that link, right? So if I do it just on the blood, I think I'd just scry on the baby. So I think I need someone with life magic to be like connect it to Teddy,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. So for that, I would want probably Darcie would probably be the one to consult for how the actual layout of that part went. If she's
Okay.
willing.
Oh yeah,
So-
totally. Darcie.
I want
Cool.
you to, Jen, describe what your part of this looks like. Is it like giant geometric symbols drawn onto the hardwood in chalk? Is it salt circles? Like how is Josephine conducting her portion of this ritual?
So first I'm going to do an effect to make it more difficult. It's not quite a ward, but it's kind of close, because I don't have correspondence 4, so it's the correspondence 2 version that I actually have as a road, which is it's technically lose a tail, but I'm gonna try and modify it to be like maybe a correspondence and prime to mask our resonances kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Sounds good.
And so for that, I'm going to use, I'm going to draw like a Circle of Solomon and with chalk probably, and probably actually both, some sort of connection to both myself and Darcie as well as the baby. So probably a bit of that blood from the baby, and then us just to mask our like current everything.
All right. So that is your portion of it. Darcie, knowing
That's the first part. Then I'm doing the scry.
Okay. And the scry, is it using similar techniques? Seals of Solomon,
Using similar
chanting?
techniques. Yeah, chanting Enochian, and probably in that case it's going to be more like metals based and different symbology for like sight and stuff like that, rather than protection.
So as this is occurring, Darcie, how do you plug your magic into that?
So first off, Darcie is going to choose a time in the moon cycle when this is, if we're choosing a time, it will be, Darcie will be trying to figure out the most potent time for her magic during the moon cycle, and suggesting that they do this at the witching hour to gain that sort of ritual. And she will be very similar almost to Josephine, is she will use animal blood to draw out specific symbols on the ground for, specifically for this grounding, probably earth, a lot of earth symbols, to try and have this grounding connection for the baby to Josephine and to Darcie. So she'll have a lot of that, and sacrificing animals of the earth versus like birds or anything. So she'll probably like get a goat or pig from the farm and use that for her circles as well. And so that is how she contributes her part.
And I think Josephine and Darcie will chat so that Josephine makes her circle and her sigils big enough so that Darcie has room to work in between it, right? So we have just this giant circle, as big as we can go, really, of like all of these intertwined circles. And I'm like, just don't cut this off. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Darcie will be very careful with her paint. Almost, I think she probably throws in a little bit of either like ash or chalk to kind of thicken up the consistency, and then uses that to she makes almost like the consistency of paint to draw on her circles to make sure it doesn't bleed into Josephine's circle. Because I don't want to fuck that up.
It's why I chose more ritual based, because I'm pretty sure you can work with this.
Oh yeah, I can work with rituals, man. That is my jam.
So I think what we'll do for this is we are going to combine Darcie, for yours, it is going to be your point of entropy. to kind of filter out some of the base genetic portions, and is going to be, we'll say, life 2 to make things a little more complicated. However, if you are waiting until the full moon of the witching hour, because your magic is strongest when the moon is full, correct? Not empty?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not empty.
Then this is going to have been a little while ago. This is probably about a week before she leaves, maybe 2. As this occurs, I want you to do me a favor and make me an arete roll at a difficulty of 3.
Okay.
And Jen, your roll is going to be based off how well this goes, because as the lesser caster, she can cause you a lot of problems.
Oh, no.
Oh, for sure. Is mine going to be split into 2 rolls? Because I was planning on doing 2
Do you want to make it
effects.
2 rolls, or do you want to do it as a conjunctional?
I want to do it as 2 effects because I want to do the
4?
first one with
Okay.
like put power and stuff into one.
Sounds good.
So that it also masks Darcie.
Okay, that sounds good. So if you're doing that as an overarching thing, then why don't we go ahead? You were going to be using Prime. What level of Prime were you using for this?
I have Prime 3, Correspondence 3, and so I figure
That's good.
Prime
so
1
that
or
totally
2 just to mask resonance.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter
I can't remember which.
difficulty-wise. So go ahead and make me an arete roll at a difficulty of 6.
I'm going to spend 3 dots of quintessence.
Okay, sounds good. Also, just a quick note, any of you who are below your avatar rating in quintessence, please regenerate up to your avatar rating.
We got
I
a bunch of
had-
quintessence last
Cool.
book.
Yes.
So,
Okay, cool.
at the end,
yeah.
which
Um,
I was wondering, would Chastity be able to offer some of that up to help them, or if they need it, or
Yeah, we'll say that you can freely give that. I'm not going to make you roll for that because you would have had time
okay.
to transfer that. So
Cool. Yeah, I had a lot, so I'm going to use those 3 points of mine, but I might for yours on the next roll, if seeing how that goes. And
okay, so go ahead and make me that first roll.
that is 4 successes on that.
Okay. So you will be able to put that directly into duration and power.
Yeah.
Okay. And Amy has just asked in a private chat if her character's connection to Teddy would affect this. Amy, the answer is yes, if you were the one casting the correspondence connection, because you would have an incredibly powerful sympathetic connection of your own.
Okay.
But unless you were the one who was doing the magic, it wouldn't be quite as useful. And unfortunately,
It's
you would
why
need
I need Darcie to help bridge that gap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, makes sense. Thanks.
Now I need to know, you're drawing a small wound, probably on the heel of the infant, because that's where most blood is taken from a newborn, usually, if I'm not mistaken. A little couple drops of blood, and we are down inside of the sitting room. The initial casting is done for your protection circle, Josephine. Darcie, you gently use your ritual blade to draw a pinprick of blood. Evelyn and Chastity standing nearby, and you can see that Amelia is sitting between Evelyn and Chastity, and is looking... You can feel... Chastity, are you touching Amelia as this is happening? Are you kind of like...
Oh, that's there, like, she's like doing the thing where she's like death grip on like the hand kind of thing, like in each other's space is at least what she's gonna go for.
If there was opportunity at all, Evelyn will happily be holding the baby.
Sounds good. You will be able to do so. Holding it, it will squirm in your hands and will let out a confused cry at the pinprick. And Chastity, you can feel Amelia's muscles tense as she just wants to get up. I would like both of you to make me a charisma plus empathy roll to try to settle your respective, I guess, Sutcliffe.
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty on this, a mother watching this, I'll say 7.
Does my charisma bold specialty apply?
What are you doing that is bold to distract her from this?
Probably not too much, so that's why I wasn't
Okay,
sure.
so then
but
it
I mean,
won't.
she could be just holding on and just trying to reassure, so I don't think so.
Oh, what's my difficulty?
Difficulty will be 7 because it's a baby.
Okay, 2 successes on my end. But I think Evelyn will basically like bounce the baby a little bit and just softly, like probably sing off like a French nursery rhyme or something.
That's 4 successes.
Okay. 4 successes. I know. It just, I don't like seeing him. I don't like seeing him like that.
I know.
Darcie, you draw the blood, putting it in the ritual spot. What do you do then?
Then Darcie's going to take out, just out of her satchel, like purse with her that she has, and she'll take out some herbs, and kind of like she has this pre-made paste, and she's just will kind of grab the infant's like heel and be like, oh, don't worry little Bab, it's all over now, it's fine, you did a good job. And then she'll rub the healing herbs on the baby's foot and heal.
Please just do me a favor. Roll me your Rattray and tell me if you botch against a difficulty of 3.
Is that a 7 or a 1? That's a 1. So 2 successes.
2 successes, fine. The botch was the only thing I was worried about. So you will heal that little nick that you have drawn on the heel, and the blood will pour into the ritual area. With that, Evelyn, you were able to remove Teddy Jr. and Josephine. It is on you. So, if you were just doing basically Correspondence 3 using this purified connection that Darcie has done into here, what I would like you to do is give me an Rattray roll at a difficulty of, let's see. So, with the Correspondence range...
Before you do all of the math, can I do a high ritual check to make this easier?
Yes, you can. Okay, so go ahead, using your high ritual scale, please roll me intelligence and high ritual.
Cool. Difficulty of 6, I think?
Difficulty of 6 for this, because it's not a particularly difficult spell that you're working on. At least not your portion of it.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, then you are going to be working on a difficulty of 4.
Fantastic. I knew I bought those dots in high ritual for something. This is what a hermetic's for, man.
Now I need to know real quick, as you're casting this spell, what is the result going to be? Is there something like a pendulum that swings to a yes? Is there something that is what is the signifier of yes or no on this?
I think that for a yes, because I'm a hermetic and hermetics are dramatic as fuck, a yes means that the fulminating gold that is a part of this circle lights on fire.
Okay.
And just like burns like a spiral out in, or a circle into the circle, basically.
And if not, it'll just
a no
probably
means
just
nothing
fizzle.
Happens.
Nothing happens?
Yeah.
All right. Give me this roll.
Okay. I am spending 1 point of quintessence to drop it to difficulty 3.
Sounds great.
And I'm spending willpower.
Okay.
That wasn't the worst that it could have been. I didn't get any 3s, so I was going to say that I'm glad I spent down, but it's fine. That is 3 successes.
3 successes. You chant in Enochian. Your words echo inside of this room. The candles, the placement, the wards, everything is placed flawlessly. And as your voice raises, the rest of you are going to be hearing these words. Enochian, see, it sounds like a language that you've heard before. It sounds like a language that you should understand. Each one of you will feel this language. It's like something a grandmother or a nursemaid spoke around you as a child that you can't remember, but sounds and feels like home. But that sensation soon dissolves as the chanting grows wilder, more powerful, more passionate, as more and more of Josephine's magic goes into this until it reaches a crescendo. And then there is a breath of nothing. And then the gold begins to bubble and melt and ignite. The flames lick up and begin consuming the circle. Josephine, as you look down, you see the answer you were expecting, or hoping. But perhaps your magic was too forceful. The fire burns and expands, and like a wildfire, it rips across the floor. I would like a dexterity and athletics from everyone.
Oh boy.
Guys, he's real alive.
Do fast reflexes apply for this, Kelly?
100%. Who is holding the baby? Evelyn, please roll me. Everyone roll me at a difficulty of 7. Evelyn, roll me at a difficulty of 9 if you were trying to protect the baby.
Okay. So I rolled a 10 and a 1.
That's
I don't have
great.
athletics, and I have 2 points in dexterity.
3 successes.
So I
Perfect.
hope plus just a fail.
I failed.
You
with
fail?
7 dice. I failed.
Okay.
I have 2 1s and a 7 and a 9, so I didn't bodge, but I failed.
Sounds good.
Am I at difficulty 7 as well, despite being at the center of this?
You're going to be at difficulty 8. Thank you for being honest.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I still got 4 successes.
Okay. The flame is going to just ignite, and all of the different powders and things are going to just kind of, you're going to see for just a second all of the work, all of the things that you have brought together here. The smoke that burns is going to suddenly go inward for a moment, as if the circle is taking a breath. And that's all you need. You know something bad is going to happen. And do you say anything before you dive for cover?
Cover!
Okay.
That's all I got.
Amelia got 1 success.
If I was with Josephine in the center, because I didn't know if we were doing this magic at the same time or not.
You're not at ground zero like she is.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if we were in the center of this circle or whatever was happening.
No, you did not need to be. You just need to be there for the blood and purification. Here is the deal. I am going to roll some damage now. Evelyn, you're able to duck and cover. So is Josephine. Chastity and Darcie, I need you to all make me a soak roll.
And that's stamina difficulty 6.
Stamina difficulty 6.
Ooh, there's 3 successes there. That's nice. 9,
Are
9,
you
8.
kidding me? So I have a 1, a 3, and a 4.
A 1, a 3, and a 4.
Sure do.
Okay.
Probably just
There.
willpower. Oh well.
Okay. And you know what? Good for you, Amelia. Motherhood's made you tough. There is and then a shockwave explodes out. The glass of the windows in this room will shatter outward. And as that occurs, Darcie, you're going to take 1 point of bashing damage as you are thrown against the back wall. You're going to hit your elbow hard as you go. Chastity, you are going to see Amelia thrown back. Her head cracks against the back of the high back chair that she's sitting in and is going to grab it with pain, a little bit of blood on her fingers, but you have no time. You have no time to protect yourself. As the blast takes you full force, and one of the sounds of breaking windows is as Chastity is hurled through the window onto the front steps of the house. Chastity, you're going to take 4 points of bashing damage and hit the ground with a... However, with that, your effect will dissipate, and looking down, Josephine, you are going to see that at least your first casting was successful. It appears that whatever trace loss you cast is still in effect. Smoke clears the room and, well, smoke begins rolling out of the window that Chastity was hurled from. What do you all do?
Everyone okay?
Kind of.
Oh.
Ow. Chastity calls from outside and we'll come back inside. Like,
How's the baby? Where's the baby?
Yeah, is the baby okay?
The baby is going to let out a shriek of annoyance.
Crying baby's always good. Just when they're silent, that's a problem.
Can someone look at Amelia? I'll take.
I'm
Amelia.
fine.
Oh.
I'm fine. I need to take Teddy. I know that cry. He shit
Yeah,
himself.
just get him out of the smoke too.
Sure. Here. Thank you,
Yeah,
Evelyn. Me too, son. Me too. She says. She picks him up.
So was that a yes or a no, Josephine?
That was a
seemed like-
yes of
That was a
Some sort of-
yes.
I think there was some sort of shielding that just backlashed because that
Ugh.
everything worked perfectly, and if it was a no, it would have done nothing. But on the plus side, I'm pretty sure it didn't trace back to us.
But that means either he's in hiding himself to protect from scrying,
Yeah.
or he didn't get away and has been in also possibly kept.
It means
secured.
either he or someone is protecting him from scrying, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But he's
Considering
alive.
he's alive, yeah. Considering I know he had more ability than I did. I wouldn't be surprised if he or someone using his power, his abilities.
I really liked people looking.
But he's
in on him.
alive.
Thank you for checking, for looking.
Josephine's
Thank
gonna
you.
hug Chastity.
You'll hear
You're welcome.
a crunch of carpet as a tall black woman leans into the room. My word. Can you all go anywhere without starting a fire? And she'll begin spreading flour and other smotherance upon
Not
the
flour. Not flour.
Well,
Please,
fair,
not flour.
not flour. She'll whatever powder, talc or something like that doesn't burn.
Or
I
earth.
mean, she probably
or
has
something.
a sand bucket.
Yeah, sand.
Sand,
bucket.
yeah. So she'll start sprinkling sand around the fire. What did y'all find?
Sorry.
It's all right. What did you
Hope.
find? I'm guessing this was
We found
An
home.
enthusiastic yes.
Then it's all the better that you are heading south in a couple of days, and that they, well, in a couple of weeks, and that they are heading to Horizon.
Yeah. They shouldn't have been able to trace this back here. There's a chance. There's always a chance, but my protective magic is still in place. It didn't get shattered.
That's good to know.
I'm sorry about the bloodstains. I'll help you clean them out.
I appreciate it. But I've been using a type of magic on this carpet anyway. At least, that's what y'all would say. To make it somewhat resistant. I'm guarding it with, actually an alcohol distillation.
Huh.
Using bourbon guard. Not quite as useful. Maybe something a little peatier would help.
Well, you figure that I'm gonna go just make sure they're okay. Yeah. And Chastity's gonna go follow Amelia.
Evelyn, a word of your time?
Of course.
She pulls you aside into the hallway. I know that your friend, I know that Josephine says that this place is safe. But I've been thinking about it. And after the experiences that we had, I'm torn. Even out here away from the city, I don't feel safe. I wanted your opinion. I've been thinking of either heading back to America or contacting some of my allies. Some of our allies that put you and I in contact. There's talk of petitioning the Council of Mystic Traditions for a seat. I want to know what you think I should do. Should I go back to the United States? Or should I try my luck finding us a place in Horizon? I mean, I can imagine that there's going to be a different type of prejudice regardless of wherever I go. But
Most
I think I'd rather...
likely. But...
What would you do?
potentially trying for Horizon might be a lofty goal. But I can't
Then you
help
have-
but think of some of the old men back where we came from.
Yes, I've
Quite
been to
offended if we
Canada.
took everything off to the traditions.
Yes, they would. All right. Then I will do as much as I can to take as many of my animals as I can and bring them along. But you have to make me a promise, Dr. Taylor. After your little adventure in India is complete, I'm gonna need you there. By my side in Horizon. If you're brave enough.
Provided that, of course, we don't all die on this
Well, that's
trip.
always in the fine print.
Of course.
hope you don't find
I
this
still
too
need you to
forward.
help me refine what I'm doing.
Of course. Pardon this, but I figure us New World girls will understand better than others. And she will take a step forward and just give you a hug.
I will enthusiastically return it.
How is it that I was supposed to be teaching you? And it feels like I'm the one that learned everything.
Well, I mean, when people consider each other peers, there can be learning in both directions. Now, I did need some help refining the process of potentially infusing a spirit. Would you like to look at the setup?
I thought you'd never
And she'll
ask.
just guide them right firmly into science talk.
Sounds good, and you will have a nice talk. If you would like to, feel free to convert any dots from Mentor into dots of Library or another background that you think would be appropriate that she would entrust you with while she is off getting ready for Horizon.
Okay.
So think about it, okay?
If library, is there any way to have like stored it within something that would travel easily, like
In this
bag
day
of
and age,
holding mage style?
not without a wonder. So
Okay.
it would be, you would have like trunks of books.
All right, I will have to look at the backgrounds then and decide on that one
Sounds good.
how to shift it.
Or you can just
Potentially
keep
just
Mentor.
into Yeah, if you think it'll come back later, then.
Okay. And with that,
Or it could go into like resources or something.
it could. Yeah, she could easily just give you
Potentially.
money because she's going to need it less.
But yes, otherwise I am going to pull her off to the side to start working on a golem project.
Sounds good.
I might start off with trying to do it on a rat.
Sounds great. And in the back room, Chastity, you will go in to see that Amelia is finishing up cleaning up Teddy Jr. There's a little bit of blood matted in her straw-colored hair.
I'm gonna go grab a damp cloth or something and help go. You've got a bit of something here too.
So do you. Look at your leg. Look at your knees.
Well, okay, I'll get those in a second then. How's he doing?
Oh, he's fine. Aren't you? He
Brave little
just
guy.
He just made a bit of a mess. Then again, so did you. So did they. I knew he was
Yeah.
alive.
Chastity just sort of nods and like will do that thing where it's like head against like her back of her shoulder, kind of like coming up behind her. Yeah. But the confirmation is nice.
In some ways. And you're sure that I know what Josephine has said, but they'll be okay with us in this place?
They will. You'll be safe. Both of you. I think Chastity's like reaching her hand around to sort of like do like finger in front of like the baby's hands kind of thing.
No. Give me the rag.
Here.
You've got blood on your knees. You got blood on your face. She'll wipe your knees and she'll wipe the side of your face. And then as you're looking at the baby, you're going to feel the gentlest tickle of a pair of soft lips pressing against your dimple. There, all clean.
Thank you. You don't resent me for wanting you to be safe, do you? Away. Or all this that I've dragged you into?
A bit. But given the amount of fires that you all tend to set, I think it's probably not good for a baby's lungs.
Well. Have you sent any letters home?
Mm-hmm. Some. I said that I was running away with a count to Morocco. And, don't leave me for long, okay?
I would
Go enjoy
never.
your adventure. Let me make a nice place for us.
It's a promise.
And, you know, when I ran away with you, it was because I wanted to see the world. I didn't think I'd get to see another one. I can't be that upset.
And when have you ever known me to do something in half measures?
I guess not. Take care of yourself.
I will.
I mean it.
I
Take care of
will.
yourself for once.
Of course I will. I've got people waiting for me.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now let's get something to drink.
Yes, please.
I am desperate for some gin.
I'm sure there was some in this cabinet over here.
All right. You will have a bit of a good time there. And we cut back to the room that is still smoldering slightly. Josephine picking up what she can from the wreckage. And Darcie. There will be pins and needles. You're a little bruised from being rocked around your elbow. Your elbow feels strange. And ever since the asylum, your legs have occasionally felt pins and needlesy. A body presses itself against you, small and lithe. Your cat looks up at you with its one eye. Are you all right? You look a bit shaken.
Oh, just
I heard the explosion from the third floor.
yeah, we tried to find Teddy, and
I know. I was here until right before it happened. And then I ran off when it started because I wasn't about to be at ground zero. I've got sensitive
that
ears.
that was probably the smart thing to do.
Hey, generally with you it is.
I cannot argue with that. You are just the best at logic.
I happen to be a rank 1 familiar. Top tier. Award-winning.
Also, top 1 is like the top, not just like you're starting at level 1.
Aye, of course. You start at level 12.
So you count down.
Aye.
Oh,
Just like lives. Trust me. As a cat, I know a thing or two.
what? How many lives are you on? Was it 12 lives? Do cats have 12 lives? I thought
I
they
know,
had
we've
only
got
9.
9 lives. We've got 9 lives. I'm on 4. Well, I'm on 5 technically if we're counting down. I've 4 down on 5 on 4
You
down.
got 5 left.
I've got well, and this one.
Right.
So I've got 4 more.
How
After
old are you?
never ask a puss's name. Blah, blah. Never ask a puss's age. It's rude. How old are
Sorry,
you?
I did find you. I'm 20, I think. It's the time's flown weird. I guess I'm older now.
Weren't you 20
Did
last
I have
year?
a birth? Yeah, I guess I was. Gone
No,
for
no,
7
it
months.
was that one in there that had the birth. You
Oh,
just had a
no,
name
but
day.
I mean, right name days, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I guess we all missed. We lost a year in that asylum.
It could be worse. Are you doing
She
all right?
glances down to her hand.
Darcie,
Mm,
are you all right?
no, I
Aye.
don't feel like it's mine. I know it's mine. I put it back on myself. I've changed my shape before, but I've never had it taken away, and it doesn't feel like it's mine, and I'm not sure.
Are you sure you put it on right? Maybe you're a couple of inches off.
Mai taught me how the anatomy works on a body, so you're going to besmirch.
But did you
besmirches
ask the
my-
body afterwards to see whether or not it felt right? Seems like half-hour
No.
type of studying. If you don't
Well,
do
sorry,
any patient follow-up.
Mai had not gotten to that in our training yet. I'm
Let me
kind of on
prove
my
something.
own
If
again.
it doesn't feel like yours, let's prove it. And as Bram says that, you are going to feel an incredibly sharp pain down your legs, particularly your knee area, and then your thighs, and then your hips, as your cat climbs you.
Ah! Oh! Ah!
Oh, it's not
Oh,
yours.
all right.
Don't worry about it. It's not yours. He'll climb onto your shoulders.
Oh, it reminds me to cut your nails.
It's my natural defense mechanism. Anyone who trims a cat's nails is a monster. And deserves
You
to be
can trim
treated as
them
such.
down a little bit. You don't have to have diggers on your hands. Pause.
Stop moping. And give me some cream.
Fine.
You can have some too. Maybe in some tea.
Yeah, I was going to go do that, but fine. You're right. I should stop moping, but it's hard.
Life's hard. Oh, life's so hard. I lost some of my body and then I got it back, you say to the one-eyed cat.
Yeah, you did get back me for and I knew. You'd feel weird about it.
I would feel weird about it. But I don't need it. I'm superior. That's why I'm a rank 1 familiar.
I think we need to audit your ranking system.
I think I'll audit you. And with that, you can go and get some tea and cream. And as you're doing that, you notice that Josephine has been cleaning things up in the room. And Josephine, as you are doing so, you reach for one of the arcane foci that you were using. And it lifts and hands itself to you. And on the other side of it, you'll see rough, calloused, leathery hands holding it. It was a good ritual you did there, Silver Eye says. A bit powerful. Almost blew us up.
I try not to do that anymore.
It wasn't your fault. Wasn't your fault at all. It was the fault of whatever fuckwit you're scrying. Still. Impressive. Are you ready for this? An actual fucking boat?
Yeah. I am.
I have been waiting for you to get on a boat. How old are you now? Aye, that
Don't
long.
actually know. Yeah.
I can't wait to feel the wind in my hair. He's bald. Or the sun. Sun on my skin again. Then again, love. How do you feel about a little bit of light piracy?
Light piracy, you say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
mean,
not
how-
opposed.
Why don't we leave them? Your friends. The lot of them. We don't need them. We could go halfway across the Mediterranean. Steal a life raft. Go out. Get a ship of our own. A crew. And then... well, cause some havoc.
Tempting. Definitely tempting.
I know. But a boy can dream, can't he?
As can a girl. I'm tied in with this lot now. Can't just
It's
ignore
true.
that.
The ship we're on. I've looked over the documents. The Nestor. Doesn't bode well for us, now does it?
I've read enough to know that, yes.
Do you want to make me an intelligence and academics roll?
Yeah, absolutely. She's still gonna say it regardless of this, but...
Sounds good.
Okay, now I can't remember because I know is this in other in like more modern M20 and
You have to divide it.
V20. But about the field of expertise
I
in
think
academics.
this is covered by your field of expertise.
I was gonna say I didn't actually put one down because I don't think I knew it was for this one, but
Go ahead.
it
and
would
role
be
play.
something like literature.
Then yeah, this would absolutely apply.
Yeah, cool.
Difficulty 6
difficulty?
because 6. Very, very easy.
2 successes.
Perfect. So you'll automatically make the connection, of course, Nestor being a figure inside of the Odyssey, one of the Argonauts, etc., etc. He's basically implying that anything connected to the Odyssey does not tend to make for a good boat trip. Or a great boat trip, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning towards. Yay. Yeah, so yeah. Could be good, could be bad. Guess we'll see.
Don't worry. I've got your back. Although, your swordplay could use a bit of work.
It could. Definitely could.
We'll have to see how it goes. Maybe you'll go find one of those pharaohs, or one of them builders down there. Maybe one of the old, what are they called? There's got to be quite a bit of pirates down there. Someone versed in a little bit of the stab and bleed.
Someone versed in a little bit of the less polite version. None of this fancy fencing.
I look forward to seeing you grow. Josephine, Carrington, Bonnie Tharsis.
I will.
Quite a bonny Tharsis indeed, eh?
I like to think so. I hope they think so as well.
Then we best make our preparations. And he vanishes, leaving you alone in the room. The next days pass in a haze. It is only a few before Amelia and Teddy Jr. are to be taken away. And as with all things that are dreaded, or expected, or hoped for, it comes sooner than you ever would like. Before long, you are standing out on the steps outside of Dr. Freeman's house. The carriage waiting there. A nun sitting in the back of it. Amelia and Teddy standing before you all. Well, I suppose this is it. I'd say right, but I'm sure that postage would be murder.
I honestly don't know.
Kelly, could I have
Yes.
given them, because I know that Josephine occasionally exchanges letters with her family, mostly with her brothers, but like I'm pretty sure that goes through her patron, which at the very least would be better postage to the patron for for
Yeah, it would take a few extra days or weeks, but you could absolutely get him there that way.
yeah. So Josephine will kind of interject and be like, if you write to this address, and we'll hand one to Chastity, which is different and probably in like New York, probably,
Mhm.
and one to Amelia, which is one in Concordia, like a drop box, basically. It'll take a while, but letters will get through, and then we just have to keep my patron updated
Good.
on where
Then there's
we
no
are.
excuse for you not to send things. I look forward to hearing about your adventures and maybe any recipes that you pick up. Then again, this Concordia place sounds like it should have pretty fantastic food.
I'll send something every time I think of you then.
Are you sure you can afford the paper?
I'll make it work.
Thank you for your kindness, Josephine. That's very thoughtful of you.
Of course. We want to make sure you're okay. And it's good for Chastity to have a touchstone. She'll look over at Chastity and just kind of
She's
wink.
giving just like a what? Like expression. But Chas is going to hold her arms out for the baby because
You are?
last chance for and is going to give the baby many cuddles and hugs and probably looks like she's crying, like gonna start crying, but is refusing to cry.
Darcie,
Very sniffles.
thank you. Thank you for being such a wonderful friend and well, a bit late for it, but the midwifing and nursemaiding has been amazing. Thank you.
That's no issue. I grew up on a farm in Ireland. Honestly, it kind of reminded me of home for a little bit, and
And I'm happy to do
it
so.
was very relaxing.
I have to say that when I was growing up, I never thought that I would have a child out of wedlock that would be tended to by an Irish witch. Nor have a strange scientist aunt figure. Thank you for your kindness, Evelyn.
Who knows? I'm getting Evelyn to teach me a little bit about luck and probability, so I might be able to. Next time I see you, I might be able to give you a good luck curse going away. I know it says curse, but curse is just the active binding. But I might be able to give you guys good luck a little bit later.
Fair. And thank you, Dr. Freeman, for everything. I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you soon as well. Miss Sutcliffe, you hear the nun in the carriage prompt. All right, come on.
Just one more second. Can I... this is a weird one. Can I do a small prayer blessing to let this baby know how loved it is?
Ooh, sure.
I don't know what that... I feel like this is going to be some sort of bizarro mind effect using prayer.
Doesn't have to be that big. It's literally empathic projection.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just... I want to make it stick. This child will always know that it is very, very loved.
Like a permanent thing. What's your prime rating?
My prime is 3.
Okay, so you won't quite
And that
be
is my
permanent.
celestial chorister So I was wondering, could I also have time? So I don't know if that would make it, I don't know. Or at least for a while.
For a while. Okay, so tell you what. Go ahead and make me a mind effect roll at a difficulty of 6.
Because she
You
has
can
been
spend
holding and
quintessence to
hugging
lower
and
this.
cuddling. I will spend a quintessence to lower it. And I will spend a willpower.
Sounds good. All right. What I'd like you to get is 6 successes on this.
Ugh, 6? I only have 4 dice.
I know.
Okay.
But that
Ugh.
means that you can cast it over multiple turns.
Mm-hmm.
So your first one.
Rattray, multiple receiving turns. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, first one is 2 successes because I spent that willpower.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so just
Spend
2.
another willpower.
You didn't spend quintessence to lower it.
No, I did. I said it was. You said difficulty.
So it was
Yeah.
difficulty. Okay.
I just
All right.
rolled not great on the other
Okay.
dice.
So second roll will be difficulty 8 because it goes up every time you do it.
Yeah, we're spending another quintessence.
All right. Let's do it.
This is definitely worthwhile. At another willpower. Difficulty 7 then, because of
Difficulty
the
7.
quint.
Let's do it.
Fuck. That's just a fail. No.
Well, then
How dare
it
you,
will
dice.
last for the remainder of the chapter.
Okay. I can live with
So
that.
basically, until it gets to Concordia, it will feel loved.
Yeah, so I rolled nothing on that one, so that was the one from the willpower spent. So it's a total of 3 successes,
Okay.
I think.
So that will basically be this love will safely guide the child to Concordia.
Okay. And then I think, so when she does that, she does it with a small short prayer, and then we'll give a kiss on the forehead before handing very delicately back to Amelia, who she is also going to give a very soft kiss to.
And she will return the kiss, giving you like a small little like cheek hole or chin hold.
Travel safe.
Have adventures, but don't keep me waiting. Go have some fun.
Chas just nods.
Oh, and bring souvenirs. All of you.
Of course.
Great. See you soon. Not goodbye. She says and turns, and without giving too many backward glances, enters the carriage, and it will ride off. Leaving you on the stoops. Several more days pass, and before long, you find yourselves there, waiting at the edge of the steamship down at the docks. It took, well, at first, a quick train down to Marseille. You boarded from one of the stations outside of Paris and rode south. But there, you soon find yourself on the dock, surrounded by hundreds of others who have made it down either by boats along the river or by train just like you. There are finely dressed gentlemen, well-appointed ladies. You can hear accents bustling around you. French, but also English, German, American or Canadian, and Arabic. Particularly the tones of the Egyptian, which there are quite a number of around you. And as you prepare yourselves, the boat, the Nestor, lies in front of you. And soon enough, your journey to Egypt will begin. Which is where we will resume after this break. So folks, Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is a time in the program where we're going to briefly talk to the chat because we got other stuff to do. How's it going, folks? You're back. It's Mage o'clock.
It's Mage. I'm excited for my paradox scars to go away so I can not.
What? They never
have to
go
hide
away. They're there
them.
forever.
No. I'll need to update Darcie's art then.
That's fine.
That's fair.
We can do that.
The
What's
Dread Pirate
going on?
Robert's
Is the
here.
overlay too large? Hey, Dread Pirate Robert. I feel like the overlay. Hold on, I may fix the overlay. So, folks, chat, how you doing tonight? How you doing? How you doing? You doing well? How's your mother? I'm gonna quickly adjust the overlay because it's bugging me. Because it's not the right size.
Oh yes, the little thing at the top. Ah.
Yeah, it's annoying me. So this is why we do this chat break. So I have time to adjust some crap.
Fixing things. Yay.
We're fixing things.
There's a
The new frames look amazing.
They do.
Yeah.
All
Michael
right.
did
Pretty
that
cool.
great job.
Michael, you did a great job. You did a great job on the Our Brilliant Ruin. Also, there's a review of Our Brilliant Ruin that we recorded today that is going to be going out sometime early next week. So you definitely want to check that out. I'm super excited because I have like the best idea for a Technocracy one shot for OPPCon. It's honestly like I look at OPPCon and I'm like, this is I don't want to say better than them, but I just did. But it's like it's so good. Like I want to keep it on my own stuff, you know? Can't believe how long it's been. It's only been like 2 months, Brandon. And yes, you will, Rob.
I mean, depends on the context. Like on actual, like
What was the last
without the
game?
interlude, we finished in December.
Oh, I guess it's been 3
Was
months.
before. Yeah, it's been 3 months, almost 4.
We
It was
keep
the
getting
end of March.
we keep getting notices about people freaking out that we're doing. It's kind of funny because we did Mage after we did Werewolf. And we keep getting messages about Werewolf and people being like, "Oh, run more Werewolf." And I'm like, "But Mage."
So I just had the thought the other day that like it's been 4 years since I started with Dork Tales because Brewery Park started just before the pandemic.
Yup.
I'll be 4 years in August.
Wow. You've done an undergraduate degree with us, Robin. Congrats.
Yay! Do I get a fancy piece of paper?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you want one?
Nice.
We can make
Yeah.
one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Put
we
it,
have
Yeah,
I'll put it
you're-
beside. I'll put it beside my bachelor's. That's on my desk too. You know, so all the bachelor's and the dorkalers.
The Dork.
What?
No, that's awful. I love it.
I don't, but good.
Well, bachelor's in
What even?
in dorkery. I
Dorktales.
don't know. In
Dorkery.
in
See,
gaming.
now Dorkaler sounds like I'm the Dorkaler, which sounds like a Batman villain.
So you could just make a Patreon tier that's like, you know, University of Dork Tales and just print people's certificates and sign them.
Yeah, it's like a financial advisor one from John Oliver.
I mean,
Right?
yeah. That's what, you know, some colleges and universities do, right?
Like
They
Trump-
just
Trump-
like pay
like
us
Trump-
money and we'll
Trump
print you a
College?
certificate.
The University
A
of Phoenix.
Dorkter. Yes. Would
Dorkter.
be a
You can be a
Dorkter.
Dorkter.
I'll be a
who?
Dorkter.
That's fair.
Dorkter.
Hey, folks, you right there. I'm looking at you right there, Chad Chaddington from 123 Chadway and Chadwickville. Anyway, whoever you right there, join the Patreon. We'd really like it if you did, because then I could buy more vests. Because I bought 5 vests for this session. I was like, which vest is the right vest? It was the blue one. I should have. It was the first one I bought, of course.
Yeah, of course. Also, just the most recent meme from Professor Multiverse.
Is it great?
This is so good. It's so good. When the baby is raised with the doves.
Is the
It's
baby
about to
setting
say
fire?
his first words. Dodge is his first words.
Oh God. So what other cool things do we have? Jen, your podcast kicks ass. That is already known. If you didn't know that Jen does Paradox and Mage the Ascension podcast, what is wrong with you? Do you really like Mage the Ascension? No, go listen to it. Don't watch it. There's not much to watch. But go listen to it. And why I'm checking Spotify for the memes by accident. I was trying to pull it up on my phone.
No, Spotify for the podcast.
That's true.
Yeah, Spotify for the podcast.
Okay, let me check the memes real quick. Shards of Nern spoilers. Where is it under? Dork Tales Games?
It's under
broadcast
the Victorian
spoilers.
Mage spoilers. So broadcast
For some
spoilers,
reason,
and then
there it is. It wasn't popping up for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly's
Now
camera
it will.
cutting for no reason. Oops, I did it again. Oh, that's I haven't seen many of the recent ones. Oh, that's back when
Oh.
Snap Camera used to fizzle out my Elgato.
Yes.
I've
Mhm.
upgraded my camera. I can't see Christine's face a third of the time because it's a big camera and it's right over her window. But like, there she is. Dodge. That's great. Josephine getting a yes. Josephine, Darcie, babe. Oh, these are fire. Oh, that's a good sketch, Team Multiverse.
Right? I know.
You're talented. Octavius armor mode. We must protect the baby. So besides that, anybody else have anything cool that we should talk about? Extra Life is coming. It's going to be rad, and you should come watch it because Jen's running the dumbest game ever. Not true, but a
I
very
don't
dumb
even
game.
know what it is just yet.
I know what it kind of is.
I know the system. I just don't know what what I'm doing with it.
Nice.
Fair.
It's bird crimes, but noir.
Bird crimes.
I'm excited to play in
Bird Crimes
games. I'm not
SVU.
actually running any games in Extra Life, but I'm playing in a few, and I'm very excited for
I'm
all of
running
them.
the last game of the weekend, so I know that anything could happen.
Unhinged. Like Blood. I ran
excited for
Bloodboat
it.
last year for that. Is the last game. It was like,
Hopefully the
oh, it
power
gets
won't
so
go out this time.
unhinged.
Also,
And
Shush,
your
don't
fault
even say it.
that Chania exists, and I'm so happy about it.
Oh, I love Chania so much.
so good, so much. The Friday, Saturday of that weekend, I will be doing my my intensive for this semester, which because my school
Bird
is in
Crimes.
on the East Coast, it's usually starts at about 6 a.m. our time and goes until like 2 or 3. So I do that, and then I don't think I'm playing in any of the games those 2 days because of time. I might be on Saturday. I can't remember now, but
I think you're in
then
one of them.
I'll just be like, Sunday will be random because I'm just so tired.
It's going to be great. I'm going to adjust the frame one more time because it's not quite syncing up with the smoke effect. Make it larger. Larger. That, no, yes. I think I did it. All right, is anybody out of
Nice.
bounds? Okay, no, I think we're good. Whoop-ew. There we go. All right. So other things, it's gonna be a lot of fun. What else is happening in the near future? We did our Brilliant Ruin. Yay. Tomorrow is Planescape. We are continuing in Faunel, and I don't know if there'll be more adventures in the Rainforest Cafe, but at the very least, it'll be a lot of
Oh my
fun.
god, that was the best. That was the best. That was such
So dumb.
That game. That game was so dumb. I loved it. It was so good.
I like Planescape because it's a D&D game where I can just be dumb.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
whatever. And then what else is coming in the near future? Some cool stuff coming to Patreon.
Vecna?
Vecna, Eve of Ruin is going to be happening in just 2 months. Oh god, it starts in 2 months, guys. Like 2 months from today, I'm pretty sure.
21st.
Yep.
Well, yeah,
So
but our
yeah,
first
2
game is the
months.
Friday, so 2
Is
months
it?
and 1 day.
Okay. Nice. Hold
2
on
months
to your
and 1 day
butts.
is our first game. Our art is almost done. We're just waiting for one last character's art. I'm very excited to see that. It's so good, guys. It's so good. Other things that are coming in the near future. Next month, of course, is another episode of Zero Sum. Those episodes, another episode will be coming. No, we are still getting the full color. Yeah, we're getting.
Yeah, so so there's not finished yet. It's the first.
Yeah, but the
character.
sketches.
We have the
sketch is not
designs.
done.
Yeah. The basics are good. The basics are good.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then Descend into Avernus is coming, and we have to get ready for that.
Yeah, and there's
I
like
have
3 to 5
so-
episodes left of Zero Sum. That's it, guys.
Oh
Crazy.
man.
Oh my god, that's so few.
We only have 2
I know,
episodes
right?
of Old Gods of Appalachia left, probably. So I've got
Panic
a
has so many episodes left.
It has like 1 million episodes left, so too bad. Then we gotta trick
I'm
somebody
so
else into
very-
doing something.
Excited for when the most like recent arc of episodes on Zero Sum make it to YouTube.
Oh my god.
I'm just so stoked for that. I need to see people's reactions.
Fair. Yeah,
It's
me too.
so wild. It's
gonna
so
be
wild.
good.
Guys, join the Patreon to gain
Join the Patreon,
access to
damn it.
these Oh, Strixhaven's next week. That is also in its wrap-up stages soon, isn't it?
It is, because that's why Avernus is happening. And like if we get 100, I will wake up when we go back to game. But when we get 175 patrons, Christine's gonna run a game. And it's gonna be like a Victorian era or Regency era game. And I'm gonna be a green Regency era boy. Are you eating popcorn, Christine? Or are you eating the
What?
pumpkin seeds? You look like
I'm
you're
eating
eating
pumpkin
popcorn
seeds.
and you're just kind of like, I want
Where the heck
popcorn.
would I get popcorn from? There's not enough.
I don't know, but I was really excited because that meant there was popcorn in the other room. And I was like, yeah.
But
He
I
was trying to
eating-
manifest it.
I was just trying to manifest popcorn. Guys, I'm going to a movie soon and I'm going to get popcorn. Because every time I try to go to the movie, something comes up. I really want to go to the movies and get movie theater popcorn. It's my like favorite food on the planet because I'm that kid.
Nice.
Even though I'm like,
I was
born in the
gonna say
80s.
something and I forgot. I
We love
had
you too.
something I wanted to talk about, and then
What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Radiant Citadel? Do you want to talk about the Syndicate? Did you want to talk about...
Yep. I remember that time. Radiant Citadel, Patreon, games, Strixhaven.
What you got?
Nope, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone forever.
Why do I have a fireplace video?
But also, yes, fuck me up, Popcorn Wizard.
Is that when we watched Black Widow?
But that was when we were watching, and Aim and I went to Cineplex to get popcorn.
Because you told us to
theater
go
for
get
all of
popcorn.
us.
So
And
we
we
went to
went
get popcorn. I'm like, how much popcorn should we get? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yep.
Just go up to the person and be like, I don't know, like, fuck me up, Popcorn Wizard.
Popcorn Wizard.
And see what
And they
happens.
did, because we had so many bags of popcorn for that. It was great.
So many pops.
Task succeeded.
Task failed successfully. All
Yeah.
right. So on that note, I'm going to open my window, and then we're going to hop back in the game. Ooh, because it is a little stuffy in here.
I mean, I guess depends. There's an ability that, as a life ability, to use Prime and Life to manifest living matter. So, which they use wood as an example. So, would corn for popcorn count to manifest popcorn? I could manifest the corn part
Sure.
potentially.
You can manifest corn to make popcorn.
Yeah.
You could use Prime and Matter to make popcorn pop into more popcorn.
I mean, honestly, you could take one kernel of corn and grow a whole corn stalk and grow more corn from it.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's
Just
life.
use popcorn, loaves, and fishes. But yes, you could also grow the popcorn.
Mhm.
But then you have to manifest butter.
Listen, I'm just imagining a Verbena who
Just
like
get a cow.
has a little car, like a little farm, like not like a full farm, but like just on the suburbs, has like a cow or a goat and like a little
Ooh.
field and just has a popcorn stand.
No,
And that's their
it is an
thing.
etherite named Orville Redenbacher.
Nope, that is their business partner who does the
Mm.
branding.
Yeah.
You look at that motherfucker and tell me he's not an etherite, though. I guess he could be a
No,
syndicate
I agree.
member.
But that's the business partner. They're totally like
He looks like
one person
Michael
just,
from
like,
The Good Place.
the
Mm.
that's the antisocial one, and for the etherites, the face of the business who does the
Yeah.
branding.
Okay, I'll allow it. All right, last yawn.
I'm so excited that we have another World of Darkness game is running again, because I really love Transylvania, and I really
we're
love
running
Mage,
Transylvania
and I'm just-
Chronicles. That's right.
Yeah!
That's the other thing that's happened since then. And if you guys don't like Vampire, tune in anyway, because it's a really good game. And the characters are really... I don't generally like vampire games. I'm not going to lie. I find that they get really, no pun intended, but backbitey and kind of weird. This one, everybody's working together really well. And the dark fantasy vibe, super good.
Also, we're being very backbitey against the other other NPC characters. We're vamping well against the other vampires. It's great. Chris is very smart.
Vamp out. All right. So, without further ado, I think it is time for us to head back into Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, Book 3, Death on the Empress Express. Also, good job, Mike. That's such a good logo. I love it.
Yeah, that needs to go on TeePublic soon, so then I can get Un Voliere Diabolique and then that as well as shirts.
All right, hold on. I'll put it on my list right next to my favorite monster I've ever come up with. Oh, that is the final thing. If you are, if you're bored during the day on Wednesdays, I now do a co-working stream on Twitch. So join me every Wednesday at noon Pacific to 3 Pacific as we just hang out, listen to music, play with chibis, and right now build the wiki. TeePublic Mage Victorian Era. All right, so join me for that. It'll be fun. All right, so we have so much to do tonight, and we're not going to get to it, which just means that next episode I don't have to plot, which is my favorite. So, without further ado, let's head back into Mage the Victorian Age here on Dork Tales. Hello, and welcome back to Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, here on Dork Tales. Before long, you find yourself there on dockside. There are dozens upon dozens, bordering onto the hundreds of people waiting in line. Many of them you can smell from here, the steerage customers. And then again, it's a warm, unseasonably warm, early spring day. And you can smell a lot in the air. There is no end of people around you, of all ilks, all walks of society. I would like anybody who's trying to keep an eye out can go ahead and make me a perception and investigation, alertness, or politics roll. Whichever of those you prefer.
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty on this is going to be a difficulty of... You're waiting for a while. We'll say 7 because you're waiting for a while, but there are a lot of people.
Okay.
Would detail-oriented apply to this?
Yes, it would, 100%.
Okay.
2 successes. All right, so I'll start with Josephine. Josephine, which ability were you using? Which skill?
Alertness.
So looking around, you are going to be able to keep your eyes about you. On the dockyard, like I said, there are a good 100 people out here. You can see that there are various dock workers nearby, people loading up onto the Nestor, this immense steamship in front of you. You can feel your teeth vibrating with excitement inside of your cheeks. And that's when you're looking around, you're noticing that there are a few young French boys and girls, all dressed kind of like their dock hands. They're about 10 years old, and they're slowly making it through the docks of Marseille. One of them, a young girl, her hair pushed up in front of a page cap, is going to bump into a gentleman in a 3-piece suit and go, "Oh, pardon, monsieur, pardon." But with that alertness, you are going to see that as he bumps into him, the man goes, "Ugh. Bloody street rats, watch yourselves, French waif," and draws back a hand to cuff him. The girl cowers back, and as she does, you're going to see her slip a billfold into her vest. Excusez-moi, pardon. So you are going to see that there are some pickpockets working their way around the dockyard here. However, you are also going to notice that there is a cordon of several several staff members around one woman who is standing nearest the boat over in the fancier section, over which is likely the line for first class. There you will see that under a parasol in the spring sun is a woman in her late 40s, quite rotund, very full cheeks, a bit of a second chin protruding over a weak chin, and is dressed in the fashion of, well, you're not from Earth, you have no idea. She's dressed expensively, and she is being doted on. As one of the young boys tries to make a go at her, however, her entourage, a tall, rather thin man with a very close trimmed mustache, will step forward and say in perfect French, "Excuse me, young man. You'll be leaving my lady alone, if you know what's good for you." And then proceeds to hand a small equivalent of about a shilling or a tuppence into the boy's hand and gives him a little pat on the rump, sending him back into the crowd to cause trouble for other people. Looking around then, Chastity, what did you get on your roll?
I got 2 successes for perception and alertness.
Perception and alertness. You also are going to see that in the crowd there are a number of people that are just kind of eager, waiting to get on. There's a lot of vibes coming off of some of the steerage customers. And in fact, as you're looking around, your eyes are going to be drawn to a hulking man over there. He has a head that has been shaved down to just all the way down to the scalp, as well as a giant curling waxed mustache. He has his coat thrown over his shoulder, even though it is spring, and is wearing nothing more than a simple tank top undershirt tucked into his breeches. He is muscled and huge, with several tattoos dancing along his biceps and immense deltoids. And as he's looking around, you're going to see that he has a number of stitch marks and scars that look like from fresh wounds along his arms and under his chin.
So am I getting a vibe of like trouble, or just sort of stay away, or just a notable individual?
He's very notable, but what you're going to get is a couple of the steerage folk are going to come up to him and clap him on the back tentatively, congratulating him for something. And you're going to hear one man in French say, "Monsieur, I saw you down at the warehouse last night. Phenomenal job. That man didn't know what hit him." The man replies in a very thick accent that is tinged. Honestly, it sounds kind of like Darcie's French accent. And he goes, "Well, I do what I can," he says in bad French. And the men continue to clap him on the back. Otherwise, looking around, you are going to see a man standing over near you who is slight of build, steely gray hair, as well as kind of a cleft chin that is not quite straight cleft, almost a diagonal with some of the wrinkles that are enforced into his face by time and age. Wearing small spectacles and dressed in a tan suit, he is accompanied by a valet who is bringing a large amount of what looks like steamer trunks and other paraphernalia that you would ascribe to maybe a professor? Books. And in fact, as he is standing there, he is leafing through a book that you'll recognize very well, actually. It looks like Milton. Next, we jump over to Darcie. Darcie, what did you roll?
I rolled alertness and perception.
Alertness and perception. You are going to constantly be caught off guard by the sound of someone in you. Now, there's first class and second class. Your tickets are second class. Then there's third class and beyond. Next to you in the line for third class, there is a young girl of about 15 who will not stop sneezing. Over and over, she continues just... And you are going to hear, "Marianne, behave yourself." "Sorry, Mother. I can't. It's the sun." "Then stop looking at the sun." "Yes, Mama." The mother locks eyes with you. "Excusez-moi, mademoiselle."
Oh. Sorry about that. Just is everything sorry. I was. There's a lot of people here.
My daughter
and
caught a
I
chill.
just want-
She'll be quite all right. Meanwhile, Evelyn, looking around beneath your fashionable sunglasses, you got 5 successes from what I see.
Perception and alertness, yeah.
Oh, god damn it, it's all perception and alertness. So,
I don't
looking
have
around...
politics.
That's fair. Looking around, you are going to be able to kind of get a sense of what I told everybody else. Looks like there's some sick people over there. They're pickpockets. However, what you are going to be able to notice is that you are going to see that there are some insignias on people's luggage that are going to jump out at you. The man who is standing nearby you with the cleft chin and who's dressed like a professor is going to have baggage tags that you are going to clock as having been train transfers from Berlin. Looking at that, you can also tell based on how he is dressed and based on one of the stamps on the inside cover of the book he is reading. That book comes from the University of Berlin's library. He flips the page and you are going to catch that with 5 successes. You are also going to overhear the man who paid the child off approach the woman with the weak chin and is going to say, "I'm very sorry for any trouble, Baroness. We should be boarding shortly. I've spoken to the longshoreman, and I've spoken to the captain. We should have priority boarding." "Yes, of course we will, Emile," she responds, speaking in a not quite French accent. Slightly, it has German inflection to it. Maybe southern Belgium or Luxembourg? But a baroness. Maybe somewhere inside of Germany or Austria. It's kind of hard for you to place.
Okay.
But you're surrounded by a little bit of royalty. So there is that. And then finally, in the first class area, you are going to hear a little bit of a crash as a man unloads off the back of a carriage. "You fools, come on! Quicker, quicker! I must make it over to the ship in time." A man with a very, very, almost radiant in this sunlight swath of black hair approaches, gesturing for his valets to carry these immense flat packages, obviously some type of canvas or easel or something like that, art supplies, as he makes his way over to the line behind this baroness. He walks and he has the attitude of a Frenchman and the accent of an Eastern European. Russian? Belarusian? His dark hair screams of the Baltic areas. "This would be fine. This would be fine. Sit it down here. Right here." And with that...
With all that, Evelyn's going to watch out for the pickpockets.
Sounds good. You easily can do so and guide your friends to do so as well. And as you are doing that, a moment later, there is going to be a sharp whistle. And at the top of the steamship, at the top of the gangway, you are going to see a handsome Frenchman in his late 50s, early 60s with an iron gray beard. He is going to call out in French and then in English and then in German. Is going to say, "Hello everyone, welcome aboard the Nestor. I am Captain Jean-Luc Beaumont. I am to be your captain on this voyage. I am excited to have you all aboard on our brief stint across the Mediterranean. This should take a mere 3 days to cross. So please, enjoy my company and enjoy my crew and your accommodations. We will begin boarding with first class and will make our way into the lower decks accordingly. Welcome to the Nestor, and welcome to a voyage across the Mediterranean." And with that, you will be able to board. First class is, honestly, the longest part of first class is that it takes their luggage far longer to board than it takes them to. And soon you are going to be able to board. Your tickets are taken under whatever names you gave, and one of the crewmen will guide you to your room. Now, it is not particularly spacious, but your second class rooms are going to have beds, although they are simple ones that head away from the walls, very similar to, say, like a sleeping car in a train. They are bunked, so that some will have to be on top, some will have to be on bottom. Basically, think of 4 folding beds coming out from the wall, but fixed inward. There's a little
question. Are we interior or exterior cabins?
You are exterior.
Yes.
You are exterior, and it is 4 in one room. So it will be a bit tighter, but that's what you could afford, and this is the short leg of the trip. On the Empress Express, if you're lucky, maybe you had 2 bedrooms.
Or we might have folding beds that, then we have chairs.
Yeah.
This is true. I do have so many interior pictures for train voyages. I spent a lot of time on it. And with that, you are going to be shown to your room. There is a porthole that is going to be letting light in. It is a mere 3 days to make it down to... so from here, you go from Marseille to Alexandria. From Alexandria, you have the option of either taking a riverboat or a train into Cairo directly. Which do you think you would have picked? Riverboat or train?
Sorry, can you say them again? It was too fast that I couldn't comprehend it all in one go.
Basically, once you get down to Alexandria, you have to make it to Cairo via riverboat or train.
Probably riverboat as being...
It only takes
faster
about
with less
4
delays.
hours. True. It's pretty quick.
Riverboat's
So many
nicer
things
in the
that
climate.
can delay trains.
Also, I feel like if we heard about the fact that there's more boats, I think Josephine would have been voting for boats. I think we would have chosen boats.
It depends whether or not the travel was planned without her input, really.
Fair.
I think for Chastity, it's going to come down to how good or bad the boat experience from here to the other, how this part goes. She might decide that boats are evil, depending.
Well, boats are evil,
Fair.
but that's neither here nor there.
So are we in Marseille? Is that I'm messed up on geography right now. Are we near the ocean?
You are.
Again?
Southern France.
Southern France, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
when
right
we're
on.
in
It's right on the
Marseille-
ocean, southern France.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, all around you can see
gives, like,
absolutely
this-
lovely, lovely mountains everywhere. Like the cliff sides here are like white stone. It is absolutely beautiful here in Marseille.
So Darcie is like, after spending time, yeah, we were in London and then Paris. I think Darcie's just like, when we hit Marseille and we're by the boat and things like that, she's just like getting that deep breath of that salty sea air because, my God, she misses Ireland for that.
And with that, you are going to be smelling the iron and the fairly fresh linens. Your linens were changed more recently than anywhere else's linens, say for first class. Inside of here, each has been given a pillow as well, and so on. Your crewman that has brought you over needs to head back outside, but he says to you very briefly, judging by your accents, he will speak to you in English. Ladies, if you need anything at all, my name is Philippe. I am going to be on hand to help any of you in the second class. Should you need anything at all, merely ring the concierge bell and I will help you. You will be dining tonight inside of the main dining room. Your dining hours are going to be at 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Of course. If there's anything else I can do for you, please let me know.
Did he help us bring our, like,
He did.
I assume like suitcase style trunks on
Yes.
then? Basically carried kind of like most of them.
Yes, or had somebody else take it with like a rack, because there was probably a lot.
Josephine carried her carpet bag, but she
I don't know that
probably
you would have that on a ship
got
necessarily.
some luggage. Yeah.
Might be hard to have that. But if he carried them all, basically she'll give him a small tip. But thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful voyage.
Just gotta start off on the right foot.
Always
And with
tip,
that-
always tip that help.
He will leave you. It is a little past noon at this point, with the ship set to sail at 2 p.m.
So, as we were leaving, since we kind of jumped to it, Darcie would have actually liked to put up, she would like to have tried to like conceal her aura a bit with Prime, just to, if anyone's kind of trying to track, to make it a little bit harder. Is that what like concealing your alter your aura does?
Yeah, you can use Prime. You can use Prime or Mind to do that.
I'll use Prime.
Sounds good. So just to suppress your magical radiance, why don't you go ahead and give me that at a difficulty of... Oh, wait. So it's been 2 weeks since the full moon.
Yes.
Can you please give me this at a difficulty of 8?
Yeah, I figured this is coming for me. Difficulty of 8, eh? I'm gonna spend a quint to lower that to 7. Oh. 10s count for double, right? Just 2? It's only we only reroll on specialties, right?
No.
We reroll magic. If you have a specialty in magic, then you do both.
Oh, then it's 2. Okay, that's
Yep,
right.
Yep,
Then
that's
it's
our
both.
that's our house
And you
rule.
reroll and it's 2.
Yeah. Okay, 3 successes at difficulty
Okay.
7.
Okay, so that
8, 9,
means that
10.
you can basically suppress it significantly for the remainder of the day, or you can suppress it mildly for the remainder of the voyage.
I think I'll suppress it majorly for the day. I think if trying to figure out if people were tracking us or anything, this would be the good part to kind of make sure that it was suppressed for the travel to the boat and things like that. So
Okay, that
little
works for me.
backtracking there, but yeah, that's what Darcie did before we left the apartments,
Okay.
trying to, if anyone's trying
Sounds
to
good.
track us.
All right. So with that,
Josephine was also going to do a
sure. What would you do?
like her normal correspondence to lose a tail kind of thing, mostly just to mask this transition point.
Sounds good. Give me difficulty of 5.
Cool.
Anybody else casting any magic before you head up?
Yeah, I think Chastity's gonna make us not. I think she's gonna try and make the group not as interesting to look at or think about.
Okay, so give me a mind effect. Are you using mind 2 or mind 4 for this?
Would have to be mind 2 because I only have up to mind 3.
Okay. So basically, you'll cast this on yourself, and it will radiate out from you. Yes, Josephine.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember like how many successes I might need for this.
For this, I mean,
of targets.
That's if you're trying to cover all of you.
Yeah.
You'd need 4 before you started counting, basically.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
What's
I
my
would like-
difficulty? Sorry.
To activate my arcane background. Of 2
Sounds good.
dots.
You'll just spend a point of it. Well, just actually, that's not the way that it works. It's that's LARP rules I'm thinking of. So that just automatically will just start to affect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So it's only 2 dots, so it's not huge, but it makes me a little less noteworthy.
Fair. Okay, and then let's go. Amy, that is going to be at a difficulty of 1, 2, 3, a difficulty of 5, please.
Okay, I'll spend a quintessence then.
Sounds good. So difficulty of 4.
My dice hate me. My dice hate me. It's an 8 and then 2 1s. Like, no, no.
Well, you didn't botch, which is important. So that is not great. You're going to have attempted to do that, but are going to find some difficulty in casting that effect. Do you think you would try again until you got it?
I think so, but I'm going to use some different dice.
That sounds like a great start. Give it to me again at a difficulty of 6 because you're getting frustrated.
Kelly, so I'm going for, and I'll do this extended because I'll have to probably. I'm going for 10 successes.
Okay. Did you get about half the first time?
I haven't rolled yet because I had to declare how many successes I was going
That
for
is
first.
fair. All right, let's go for it. Going for 10.
And do we re-roll 10s or do we just do 2?
10s are always
Okay.
rerolls on magic in our house rules.
I spent a willpower and I got 6 successes with that willpower.
Okay, which means you can roll again at a +1 difficulty.
2 successes in that
Two-
case.
2 successes. Okay, so you are going to be you're going to have enough to kind of blanket your any emotional kind of notice of you a bit. It'll last basically for the time that you spent on the dock and for the next hour or so.
I got 2 more successes on that roll, so
Perfect.
I'm at
So you've
8.
got Okay, that's pretty damn good.
I wanted 2 more, so can I still roll?
Yeah, you got half of what was remaining, so sure.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't sure.
The
Flat
difficulty
fail
just-
on that last one.
Okay. 8 is still really damn good.
Yeah, so it's 4 successes for targeting, so that's all 4 of us. That will be, I believe it's additional 1. Is it 1 more for scene at that point?
It is 1 more for scene, yes.
Okay, and then the last 3, because I was gonna do scene, and then everything else was into, it increases the difficulty of anyone trying to track us. So I was gonna increase the difficulty with anything that was left, and there were 3 left. So
That's perfect. All right, so increases the difficulty of any tracking by +3
for the scene, yeah,
for the scene.
which I figure will
Fantastic.
take us out of harbor essentially.
It will take you out of harbor. All right, so you've got all of those effects set up, and is anybody doing anything special or just doing a little bit of relaxing before the ship goes underway?
Josephine is all over this ship. Like
Okay.
everywhere she
think-
is allowed to be, she is.
Did any of us
think
keep
Darcie's-
following her?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
Darcie's following because she likes to be around the ocean, so I think Darcie's just super excited to be kind of away from the cities and back to kind of that like free flowing air. She's very excited.
Now I
I
have
think
to
Evelyn
ask.
will also wander, but she's altered her standard umbrella just a little bit to be a little bit more like a parasol, so it doesn't
Okay.
stand out quite so hard as a solid black umbrella.
Now I have to ask you the most important question. Your room has one key. Who has it?
Oh. Why don't I make some copies?
Well, let's trust it to Evelyn to figure out the best
Yeah.
way to deal with
if
those.
if you can make copies, that would be great. But otherwise, I think you should definitely be the keeper of the key.
All right. I mean, I have a small ingot in my bag. Let's just steal. Make a few copies.
Okay.
Matters
go-
four!
The look on Kelly's face for that.
Yeah,
was great.
right.
I had you, and then you broke me. How much prime do you have, Christine?
Prime 3.
Okay, now here's the question. Do you want to make raw keys out of nothingness, or do you want to just press something into the shape of a key out of existing matter?
I was just gonna make it out of existing matter. I figure she carries some on her.
Perfect. Go ahead and give it to me. Give me difficulty. It's only gonna be that. Are you taking
Oh, and
time
my
to do
specialty
this?
is transmutation.
Of course it is.
So would that help?
Actually, transmutation would not help because transmutation is state related. This is going to be more shaping.
Not shape related.
Yeah, no, it is not. Transmutation is all about going from one thing to another.
I figure she could also probably take a piece of clay if she ever lost the key and shove it in the door to take on the shape of the
Yeah,
key, harden it,
use-
and then turn it.
Yeah, just remember the law of equivalent exchange and you'll be fine. Sorry, dumb joke. All right, so why don't you go ahead and give me this? This is going to be matter 3, basically, just to start, like, shaping things really quickly. And give it to me at, I guess, a difficulty of 6, unless you are taking lots of time just to work with tools beforehand.
Since everybody wants to leave, I think she's just going to try and do it quick and dirty.
Okay, quick and dirty. Give it to me at difficulty 6.
Three successes.
All right, 3 successes. You are going to be easily able to... What are you using to do this, I guess is my first question. So you're using an ingot to basically make a quick mold, and then you are putting what in? Quick hardening clay? Or...
Let's go with that. That makes the most sense, I feel like, for this sort of thing.
Sure. Okay, so in that case, that's something that does not require any matter magic to stay in that shape. So
She
you
potentially
are...
has like a clay with a spray that like makes it go hard quickly type thing.
I'm going to leave that joke on the
Increases the-
table and say
I was
that you...
also thinking of it as I said. I was like, all right.
Does that spray have
Don't need to
multiple
tell
uses?
Chastity that one. It doesn't work on certain things.
I don't think Chastity needs the spray. But
probably not.
I'll say that's more life magic than matter magic. I feel like it'd be a different spray.
yeah, well, you know, you got to start somewhere. So that is going to be 3 keys. They'll be very fragile. So basically, if you use the keys in a hurry, they may break in the door. But so long as you're gentle with them, they'll be fine.
All right.
And you will not have to hold that as an effect. Basically, they'll just exist.
Yeah, so I think she'll probably make the mold by like pressing an existing key into something after she sprayed it with a chemical and to soften it, and then put the clay in and all the fun stuff.
Fantastic. Very soon. Well, you know what? Why don't we cut straight to this? So from inside of here, Josephine, you are going to find yourself rushing around the deck, seeing all of the people that are everywhere. The smell of the sea air is intoxicating. Yes, Darcie.
So is this ship, I would assume that animals would have to be in the cargo?
A small cat could be snuck in easily.
Well, I was gonna say Darcie's going to sneak Bran in, but then Bran's probably going to stay in the cabin most of the time.
So as you go and the
Ratters.
door is shut,
Rat cats.
Bran, there are plenty of cats on the boat, by the way. Bran is going to hop out as you are going to go chase Josephine, and is going to climb up on one of the top bunks and go, "This'll be mine."
We have to share that, you know.
You two can
You
cuddle.
can sleep on my feet. No, you can sleep at my feet and keep them warm.
Oh, the smell of an Irish girl's feet.
I mean, if you're lucky, I'll wash them before I sleep too.
I haven't been lucky yet. He'll curl up and go to sleep.
Take care. Bite anyone that comes in unannounced, Bran. I don't know what that accent is.
All right, so rushing out, Josephine, you are moving around the ship. You are, what would you like to do on the ship? Where would you like to go first?
I think right now it's just taking it all in. It's like, it's watching what everybody's doing in preparation for leaving. It's smelling the salt air. It's just enjoying the vibe that comes from a bunch of people familiar with a boat on a boat.
All right, and Darcie, as you are rushing out of here, can you do me a favor and make me a dexterity and just make me a dexterity and athletics roll?
Does fast reflexes apply with this, or?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Okay. Concern 4 and 3.
To
What's
do
my
it at
difficulty?
7. Do it 7 because you're
Yeah.
dodging around people trying to catch up with Josephine.
Mm-hmm. Is that a 1? That is a 1. Oh, now that's 1 success.
1 success. Oh, look at this, a drama bomb.
Oh no!
All right. So, rushing forward, you are going to be able to kind of punch your way through the crowd, kind of like quickly hurrying around. All of the people from steerage are being loaded into the lower decks. The people in second class and third class are being lowered in as well. And as you are moving around, you're going to be able to dodge around some of like the man with the painting, or the canvases are being moved around. You're going to be dodging around people who are bringing in like books and vases and things that are being transported as luxury items. No problem. However, you are going to spin around, and as you do, you are going to slam bodily into someone with your shoulder and are going to tumble slightly. Now you're going to be able to recover, but the man is going to stumble back, and as he does, there is going to be as something silver is going to fly out of his hand over the edge of the deck. And you're going to hear a broop in the water. The man is going to go, "Really?" He turns and looks at you. He is a strapping man with hair kind of dangling in his face, dressed in a pair of suspenders, a button-up shirt, no tie or anything, a pair of high boots, and he's gonna kind of look at you and glare. A bit of stubble on his cheek. "Do you mind?" he says in a distinctly American accent.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir.
Uh-huh. Sorry isn't gonna get my flask back. That was a...
My apologies. I'm catching up with my friend. This is her first time on a boat, and she's gotten a bit excited. I'm so sorry. I'm so klutzy. I'll replace it if there's like a shop here. I can buy you a replacement. I'm so sorry.
A gift shop.
Trinkets.
God, you Brits are all the same.
I'm Irish, thank you.
What's the difference?
I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt as I just tossed your flask overboard.
Oh,
sir,
don't give
but
me
if
anything
you...
else. You've already given me plenty to deal with.
I don't think taking that tone with me there, sir, is very kind. I was very apologetic, and you insult me by calling me a Brit.
I'm very sorry, Lady Clover. Good day to you. Your entire leprechaun thing. And he is going to just shrug and is going to storm off the other direction as you see Josephine dart around a corner.
Brit. And Darcie's gonna take off.
Josephine, you are dangling off the front edge of the boat. You're feeling like the queen of the world up there.
I'm doing the Titanic before the Titanic happened.
Beautiful. So, looking at that, you are going to be listening to the sound of the ship's din and everyone moving and rushing and preparing for this. You can hear the sound of the steam engines begin. Hell, you can feel them through the balls of your toes, through the muscles of your legs, through other things. But also, you are feeling it through your soul. This is an adventure. And next to you, Silver Eye is going to lean forward. Aye, we finally made it, didn't we?
We did.
And look at that. There's likely to be some trouble yet, he says, smiling, and glances over your shoulder. And as you glance back, you are going to see some of the rough and tumble men that were hanging out with that tall mustached brute going around and elbowing and kind of nudging a couple of large, beefy guys. And you can overhear, "Tonight, if you're looking for a bit of fun, come down to the steerage deck. Maybe test your might against, our local champ. You could win some big francs."
Trouble? She's saying to
"Yeah,
Silver Eye.
good trouble," he says with a smile through his cracked teeth.
Do you like good trouble?
And with that, you're going to see the Veil of Darcie kind of burst through the crowd and rush up to you at the front of the boat.
You feel that air?
Yeah, I do. Also, my goodness, you run fast. Holy. His holiness there. You got me out. Oof. Ran into some rude American bloke. Got distracted. But, yes, it smells so wonderful.
There's
I like it.
absolutely no acknowledgement of American. She's like, eh.
Yep.
Just loving this. And you're going to hear, "All aboard!" back of the boat as they raise the gangplanks.
Darcie, hold on.
Red? I'm holding on. You ready? And she'll put her hand out to grab Josephine's.
Yeah, Josephine will grab back and grab the railing with the other hand and brace herself.
Yeah.
Can the other two be joining them at this point?
And at this point, right as the steam stacks erupt, you two are going to be bumping up against them from behind. The four of you on the bow of the ship.
Wait for it.
And then there is a sudden lurch as the ship leaves dock. and you slowly begin to drift through the cliffs of Marseille out into the Mediterranean.
With Josephine's cat-like balance, I would like that lurch to be shown nowhere in her. She moves with the boat.
You just move with it. It is great. And honestly, it's such a large boat that the lurch is barely noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
But the four of you are all together at this point.
Ready for the next part of this adventure?
That air. So much more vibrant than the Arcturus. Nothing like it.
How long did it take for you to sail across, Evelyn? From Canada to here?
Oh, weeks. It's not the most pleasant of trips.
I mean, our faster version wasn't as that pleasant either.
No, your crash landing in the carriage was quite entertaining, but I can imagine it wasn't the most pleasant of trips.
It served its purpose.
Certainly worse ways to travel.
This is 3 days. This is nothing
Mm-hmm.
compared to weeks.
And as you are...
Well, let's try not to end up stir crazy in close quarters. Again,
It sounds like there might be some entertainment in steerage later.
you think?
Oh,
I'll have to check that out.
yeah. What kind of entertainment? Dancing? Fights? Games? Gambling?
Oh, I'm good at those.
Probably not dancing, but the rest, maybe.
Huh.
From the looks of them, anyway.
Excuse me, ladies. You hear a French voice say behind you.
But hi?
Hello. I could not help but see a man dressed in one of the crew uniforms. A lieutenant of the ship. He's going to step forward. Excuse me. The captain noticed you from the deck and wanted to express both
Did he know?
sympathy at your loss and
What loss?
the
Right, Darcie.
My late husband died at such a tragic age
Mm-hmm.
in a mining accident.
um
Nope, I'm gonna redo that. What would be like working in a coal mine or coal factory worker in a factory accident.
is very tragic.
Rest his soul.
So you are traveling in second class?
That's correct.
Today is your lucky day.
Oh,
The captain has asked if you would dine with him tonight.
that's very kind of him.
Josephine looks instantly disappointed because she thought he was going to say something else.
Wants to invite you up onto the wheel.
And perhaps afterwards, a tour of the ship, some of the places where only the crew gets to see.
I'm sure Josephine would highly appreciate that. She quite loves boats. Ships.
This is her
I
first
apologize,
hobby.
ships.
Flattered. But why the sudden interest? We're just travelers.
The captain has seen that there are 4 women who are traveling on their own, and that they should be in the company of good men. And women, of course.
Appreciated.
Why?
Evelyn's going to be casually elbowing the others to shut up while she tries to gracefully accept on their behalf and not raise flags.
And of course, I'd certainly be honored to know our captain is thinking so with such care for his passengers.
Of course.
Of course I accept.
Excellent. Please go to the dining hall tonight. You will be sitting at the captain's table. The captain will be dining at 6:30 p.m.
Thank you.
I hope you bring your appetite, and should you need any help working the wrinkles out of your dining attire, do not hesitate to ask.
Of course.
Au revoir.
Thank you very much.
He will turn and leave.
So, and Jassy drops her voice after watching him get far enough away. So, I say we still go have some dinner at 6.
Were we supposed to bring
And then
dining
join him at
here?
6:30.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I don't think I have fancy clothes for a dining experience.
I'm
No.
sure we can tidy up
We
enough.
can make something work. Perhaps we should take a look at the curtains if there are any in our room.
That might be. Well, I suppose I can help change them.
Oh.
And
It's-
Josephine, it's an Earth custom. The men are odd about women by themselves.
Yeah, we're very
Yes,
weak.
I've forgotten
creatures.
with everything we've been
But in
through.
this case,
Yeah.
honestly, turning it down would probably be more hassle than it's worth. And we might as well eat some good food.
I was going to say we're probably going to get much better treatment. We might be even treated like first class with that.
For at least a few moments, yes.
The food may be good, but if you ever dine with someone of... They tend not to give us big portions. So,
Mm.
it's like pre-drinking. Sort of.
Free drinking.
Pre-eaten.
Now with that, as you stand on the bow of the ship, looking out over the Mediterranean as the sun slowly makes its way toward your dinner time, the next leg of your adventure has begun as you make your way south to Alexandria and eventually the Empress Express. But we'll pick that up next time because this is the perfect place to call game. So, welcome to book 3, everybody.
Woo!
It took 3 seasons to get you on a boat and 24 episodes.
Yay!
Come on.
Yay, Josephine!
Oh, God.
I suppose question is, how are we covering Darcie's black lines for dinner?
I mean, I have my veil,
That's the veil.
I guess. It's the veil. Just kind of going to eat through.
Just gonna have
You
to
can get away with it, probably.
Well, we'll just have to play it up as she's very sensitive about properly
We'll just call
mourning
it-
her husband's passing.
Yes.
We'll just call it Irish culture.
It's
Yeah,
Irish
just the
culture.
Irish are weird. Them with their
I'm sure he'll have
potatoes.
no idea.
I think Evelyn's going to be pulling
Well,
out
she
her
being Irish
enchanting
captain.
features to try and dazzle and make sure he is very
Okay.
on top of looking after us.
Josephine's going
Chastity
to
will-
bringing out her cultural other.
Woo!
Yay!
And,
Perfect.
I feel like Evelyn's the one who actually has experience with dining, with fine dining. Chastity is the one who has been hired to show up as arm candy, I think. So her concept of it is a little different.
That's
Beautiful.
Josephine has no concept of it at all.
Evelyn's probably had to dine at a few places that were more fancy because of richer or higher up, like professor level people inviting them.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see how that goes for you because there's going to be some surprises. Also, I told you guys during the break that I have 1, 2, 3 major events. Well, actually, if I was being honest, 1, 2, 3. I have 7 things that happen before you make it to Cairo, and you have done one of them. So maybe I was a little over ambitious for this episode. So hey, it just means it's going to be a longer season.
Yay! Just take a little bit to get into it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
But I just realized how much paler my foundation is.
Yep.
I think it looks good. It's nice.
Yeah, no, it looks so nice and natural with this hair color and the color
Yeah.
shirt. And then I'm like, I'm not actually that pale.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm
All
not.
right. So, with that, take 5
I
XP.
love how. Ooh.
So that's with
I
the
love
3
how
for the
everyone
chat.
in the chat's protective of Darcie and the guy that was rude to her. It's so good.
I mean, he lost his flask. It's a good flask.
Well, I mean, he should have held on to it stronger then.
Exactly.
Really. If somebody accidentally bumping into him could have sent it flying, that's more his
Right.
fault than anybody else's.
It was the drama bomb's fault, I'll have you know.
I know,
It was.
but it's
It
great.
was.
I enjoyed that.
It's great. It's not. I'm not setting anything up. What are you talking about? All right. So, hey, folks, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age. If you like what we do here, I strongly encourage you, join the Patreon because that supports the channel directly and helps me make more games like this. If you like this game in particular, let me know, and I can maybe do more Chronicles or World of Darkness games in the future. I mean, we're already running 2 right now. That's pretty dope. But you can also join the ranks of our amazing producers, like our divine producer, my mom, hi mom, our demonic producers, Precarious and Kelowna Curd, our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin, and Sorcerer Sanguine. Ink Goblin actually helped me brainstorm a bunch of stuff for this campaign, or for this this book of this chronicle. So thank you very much, Inky. And I counsel the Patreon, Taryn, Dustin, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Karasha Urquhart, Chef Eladeth, Larouk, Mike Baxter, and Iridian. And of course, all the rest of you are all amazing. Thank you for supporting us. Honestly, this is a full-time gig, and I am so thankful that I'm able to do it because of you. So thank you. Thank you. And with that, we'll be back very soon. Come check out Transylvania Chronicles if you haven't already, and we'll see you tomorrow for Planescape. Good night, everybody. Welcome back, mages.
Eee.
Bye, everybody.